I can't believe what I just heard. Some players out here are talking like they've earned stripes they don't have, acting like they're above the star on the helmet. And just like that, the Dallas Cowboys caught a stray out of nowhere. Let's break it down. Ravens wide receiver Rashod Bateman made headlines when he opened up about not being traded to Dallas. And honestly, the tone said it all. In an interview with The Athletic, Bateman revealed, and I quote, "That's the first thing I told him. I don't want to go anywhere else." He was talking about staying in Baltimore. And yes, that includes not wanting to land in Dallas. Look, say what you want, but when a player downplays the opportunity to wear the star, especially one who hasn't exactly lit up the league yet, you raise some eyebrows. That's not just a comment. That's a message. And while all this is happening, there's a storm brewing within the NFC East. One of our division rivals is staring at a crisis unless they pull off something bold, something Jerry Jones level bold. We'll dive into that next. Stay locked in. Things are getting heated. Let's be clear about something. The Dallas Cowboys don't need Rashod Bateman, and they never did. In that same interview, Bateman mentioned how he had a lot of confidence that his GM would prioritize him in contract talks. He said it made him feel valued, especially since that Cowboys trade never happened. But here's the truth. If the Cowboys really wanted you, you'd be wearing the star right now. You can praise your own team without dragging Dallas into the conversation. No one in Cowboys Nation was begging for Bateman. In fact, let's be honest, if Dallas had traded for him instead of pursuing someone like George Pickens, that would have been a disaster. This team is trying to build towards something real. So when names like Bateman get thrown around as if they're high-impact moves, fans aren't buying it. You want to feel valued? Great. Stay in Baltimore. But don't use the Cowboys as a reference point to make your point louder. This franchise is too big, too historic, and too locked in to entertain that kind of shade. Let's shift gears to the NFC East, because there's serious trouble brewing in Washington. The Commanders, desperate to escape years of irrelevance, are facing a familiar challenge. When your team starts gaining momentum, the stars want to get paid. And right now, their top wideout, Terry McLaurin, isn't exactly on the best terms with the organization. McLaurin, who's nearing 30, remains Washington's most reliable and explosive weapon, even after the team added more muscle to its offense. But contract disputes are starting to cloud things up, and it couldn't come at a worse time. Why? Because this is a crucial year for Jaden Daniels. Sure, he showed flashes of brilliance last season, but every NFL fan knows, year 2 is when the real test begins. Now there's tape. Now defenses are studying you. They've got tendencies, weaknesses, and schemes ready to shut you down. And if Daniels goes into training camp without his top receiver, that's a massive setback, not just for his growth, but for the entire Washington offense. For Cowboys fans, this is the kind of internal chaos you quietly root for in a division rival. A key piece missing from a young quarterback's development arc that could shake up the NFC East standings before the season even kicks off. NFL defenses aren't sleeping on Jaden Daniels anymore, just like we saw with CJ Stroud. Once you start gaining traction as a breakout star, defensive coordinators around the league start preparing for you like you're a top 10 quarterback. That's what Daniels is up against now. The film is out. The blueprints are being drawn. That's why Washington needs every weapon ready at camp, especially Terry McLaurin. And yet, Commanders fans are out here fantasizing about trading for Micah Parsons. Seriously. They're talking like Dallas is going to ship out one of the most dominant defenders in the NFL to a division rival. Let's be real. Washington's front office is struggling to even secure their own star receiver. If they can't afford to keep Scary Terry locked in, how exactly do they plan to pay for Micah's future mega deal? It's always the same story when a team tastes a little success. One solid season, and suddenly fans think they're building a dynasty. The Commanders have talent, sure, but they haven't earned the right to talk like they run the East. Before you go looking over the fence at Dallas, maybe focus on securing your own foundation. Because in this division, hype means nothing. Execution is everything. Let the media keep doubting the Dallas Cowboys. Let the sportsbooks keep disrespecting them. Because this team hears everything, and it's only adding fuel to the fire. Some analysts have the Cowboys finishing third, or even last, in the NFC East this season. DraftKings has them sitting in the bottom 10 in playoff odds. Bottom 10? Are you serious? Let's not forget, as long as Dak Prescott is healthy, the Cowboys are always in the mix. Playoff appearances are the standard, not the exception. So if you're offering long odds on Dallas just to make the postseason, that's not just disrespectful. That's an opportunity. And believe this year, the Cowboys aren't just playing to prove people wrong. They're playing with something to prove to themselves. No more hype. No more headlines. Just a locker room full of players who are tired of being overlooked and underestimated. And history shows, when the Cowboys are labeled the underdog, that's when they're the most dangerous. This season, the Dallas Cowboys are going to catch a lot of people off guard. And when they do, it's going to sting. Rashod Bateman. Keep the Cowboys out of your mouth. You weren't part of the plan, and now it's clear why. As for Terry McLaurin, respect. He's standing up for himself in a difficult contract situation. And in the cutthroat world of the NFL, that takes guts. But if Washington can't hold it together, that only makes the road clearer for Dallas. And to the odds makers out there, when the season ends and the Cowboys are right back in the playoff mix, or further, you'll be the ones answering questions. This team hears the noise. They always do. But this time, they're letting it build into something dangerous. They're still them boys. And the rest of the league better be ready.